Hip-hop artists are gods. Curious as to why I make that statement? Let's talk about it for a minute. Here's a question. Are hip-hop artists gods? And when fans listen to the music that they present, does that constitute a moment of worship or even prayer? See, these are the questions that are meant to get you thinking about the topic for today's session, hip-hop as a religion. See, hip-hop has grown into a global reality that shapes how people understand, approach, and even respond to complex life issues. For some, this pushes hip-hop beyond simple entertainment or just a type of cultural activity. Instead, it poses that hip-hop does heavy lifting and becomes a new type of religion. So let's talk about how the Temple of Hip Hop and other organizations point to hip hop culture as a religious institution with its own doctrines as well as creeds. Now, you know, in our supplemental reading, we have the book Jay-Z's Decoded. Now, this book tells tales about Jay-Z's earliest obstacles and struggles on his road to success. Now, in somewhat the same way that maybe the Bible or the Quran tells stories and parables that'll help people understand the world that they live in and how to survive in that world without losing a sense of oneself, so in a sense does Jay-Z's Decoded. By sharing struggles from his early life, as well as stories from his music industry struggles, Jay-Z hopes to help those that choose to walk in a similar path avoid the same pitfalls that he did. He hopes that he can lead people on a clearer path to reaching their personal and professional goals. It's my belief that in this sense, Jay-Z's Decoded shares many similarities from its text with other religious doctrines, creeds, or texts, such as the Bible or the Quran. Now, within hip-hop culture, there are some artists that actually describe themselves as divinity. Let's talk about Lil B, or the bass god, as he proclaims himself. Lil B is originally from the Bay Area. He started as a member of the group Wolfpack, and they had a seminal hit called Vans. But he decided to venture into a solo career. And Lil B was actually one of the first hip-hop artists to use the internet as well as social media to his advantage. He actually created over 100 MySpace pages to promote himself as well as his music. In 2012, though, Lil B decided to take his personality a little bit further and a little bit deeper. He changed his name from Lil B to the Bass God, and his followers actually obliged him in calling him that. By creating a personality and a dynamic that's almost similar to that of the ancient pharaohs, he presented himself as a modern-day hip-hop deity. Now let's talk about how fans respond to hip-hop culture in the same way that others respond to their traditional faith communities and practices. For many people, the church has always been a place in the community for people to come together and share their good times as well as their bad times. It's offered people an opportunity to not only be heard, but to potentially hear voices that can help them in their respective struggles. Now, hip-hop tries to do the same thing. It gives those inside the culture not only a voice to speak with, but voices to go to and to listen to for information and guidance. Issues such as inequality, violence, and poverty have always been dealt with on a local level by churches in their respective communities. Hip-hop hopes to bring attention to these causes, not just on a local level, but on a national level as well. Hip-hop has been able to use its culture to not only bring attention to these situations, but to help find solutions. In many instances where people would not even know certain things were happening in certain communities, hip-hop has been the voice leading the call for change in those communities. You know, hip-hop has grown far beyond its earliest days and inceptions, and it's gained a major place in the thinking as well as the activities of people worldwide. Now, in fact, in certain instances, for some of those people, it has all the functions of a religious tradition. In a word, hip-hop culture has grown to meet a full range of needs and address a full range of human concerns. In lots of ways, it has become, for some people, a new type of religion. How about that?